Yeah, you're gonna start it. Yeah.
It started. I heard a ba-ding.
Yeah, that was my phone. I don't know why I'm not gonna check it.
All right. Yeah. So don't go down there. It's not a good time, but you could, if you had magic, you could try. Though, the one story that you read, the guy didn't have a good time. Needless to say. But if you did have magic, like maybe something to resist heat, you might be able to get down further than that guy and not get hurt. But
Because I have the feeling if I'm gonna try to swim over, I'm just gonna sink to the bottom in all my scare.
seems like lycanthropes don't usually wear heavy armor, and if they do, they can just change into their animal form, which doesn't. The armor gets absorbed, so.
I'm gonna start hitting down some trees.
There is no trees on this island except that little tiny sproutling.
There is that sproutling. Does it float?
You would have to destroy it in order to find out, probably.
I will.
All right. The sproutling, there's a few things that you could do. It's about this high, I would say. So from the floor, 3 feet tall. It actually started. There's nothing else here, so it's just sucking up all the nutrients and whatever soil's here. And you can just pull it up, or you can chop it down. It's up to you. Though you might get a little less wood if you chop it down.
I'll pull it out then.
All right, strength check.
Strength check or athletics?
I'll allow athletics. Why not?
Okay. 25.
All right, 25. Yeah, you managed to pull it out, roots and all. So there will be no stump left.
Yeah. And
The tree is actually taller than you are. I think. How
Yeah,
tall are you?
let me check if I put it down. I didn't, because I don't put things down.
Well, dwarves are usually about 2.5 feet, if I remember correctly.
I think it's 3 to 4 normally.
Okay. Well, then it's about as tall as you are.
So yeah, I would say he's probably 4, because he's one of the taller dwarfs.
Fair enough.
One of the sturdier builds.
But either way, it's a pretty tall tree compared to you, but you know that this isn't a fully grown tree or anything.
Yeah.
Either way, you managed to just.
And I
soil
dip it
here
out in
isn't.
the water to
Yeah,
see
the
if
soil here isn't very thick, so you just. Let's see. So you throw it in the water.
Yeah.
It floats, and it's floating on the bubbling water of the burning sea. Though it is relatively hot, so you're gonna have to try to get it on top of the log if you're gonna use it.
I'm gonna pull it back.
All right, you pull it back onto the land. It float. It did float for a while, as long as you had
and
it.
And it's 500 feet over, right?
Yeah, it's 500 feet to land.
I'm gonna throw one of my hand axes over.
You're gonna try to throw up 500 feet?
Yes.
Make an athletics check. Goes. What is the range of a hand axe?
It's let me see. It's 20, or actually it should be 2060, not 2040. So 2060.
All right. It goes 70 feet, which is more than your supposed range, and it lands into the water the head of the axe unfortunately drags it down into the depths.
I guess that's out of the question then.
So, mark off one hand axe permanently.
I did. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and drink my fire resistance potion,
Fair enough.
and I'm gonna hold on to that. I'm just gonna see around to see what I can. No, never mind. I'll try to get over using the palm to help me swim over.
All right. Using that, you don't sink, so it's just up to you swimming. Is swim speed half movement
Yeah, it's
speed?
half. So dash, it's 25 per turn.
Okay, so you are moving 25 per turn. And assuming, yeah, you could get there in a couple of minutes. You could.
Yeah, because 10 turns in 6 seconds. So in 1 minute, I'm 250. So it takes me 2 minutes to swim across.
Yeah, so it's gonna, like I said, it's gonna take you a couple minutes, but this fire resistance potion is preventing you from boiling alive, which is good.
As I would say, I have returned, finally.
Alright.
Now it's your turn to boil alive.
Oh
no! Just to explain to you basically what was happening to him, for you as a player, not for your character.
Yeah.
He managed to get back after being severely harmed by that creature. And he lost his shield.
Oh
and
boy.
When he got to the surface, he was in the middle of the ocean. So he's on this little tiny island in the middle of the ocean. And he drank his fire resistance potion, and he is now swimming back to shore.
With a palm tree I ripped off from the ground.
Yeah, there was one palm tree on this tiny little island with barely any soil on it, and he just ripped it out of the ground and started using it as like a floaty to help him swim.
Okay.
So, we'll see. Do you want to go directly to shore? I mean, your fire resistance potion lasts more than 2 minutes.
I'll go directly till I can see what's below me.
Are you sure you want to do that? Because you don't know which side of the island you're coming onto. You might be coming onto the side where the city is, and the city isn't too fond of you, as you remember.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm gonna swim to the shore. Like I'm gonna see what's until I can see the bottom of it. Like if I'm on the sandy beach, it's basically where I'm aiming for.
Okay. And as I described to him, there's a huge, like, you just look down and you don't see anything underneath the surface. It's kind of hard anyway because the water's boiling, so there's like bubbles coming up constantly. But even when you look down, when you started swimming, you couldn't see anything. You just saw, it looks like it's kind of a bit darker than the surface, but it seems like there's an unusual light source, and I'll say that your roll from before is that whatever is heating up the ocean is hot enough to glow and prevent it from being dark down there. But it's not as bright as the surface. So you continue swimming, and you get to the sandbar, which is like a higher section of water, or a higher section of land.
Are those slugs there that Runk encountered as well, that can see that just...
He did see some slugs on the beach. So he hasn't seen them before, so he couldn't possibly tell if they're the same ones, but there are some slugs on the beach.
Okay.
Okay. So you get to where it's about 40 feet deep rather than 500, And you see that the slugs just seem to be acting natural. They aren't like threatened by you or anything, so they're not dashing towards you or anything.
Yet.
Fair enough, but
Well, since I've gotten that close, I'll just take a deep breath and walk the rest. Like I let go of the raft, go to the bottom, and walk the rest of the way.
alright, so since you're swimming, you can move at half speed, and it's your constitution in minutes, your constitution modifier in minutes that you can hold your breath, and that's way more than what you would need to actually get there. So while you're standing in the boiling water, it's actually a strange sensation that you've never felt before. It's actually boiling water, and you're just sort of watching the bubbles that are being caused to rise to the surface from the heat. You just see them going past you. You even see the odd-looking fish. Actually, make a d20 roll.
D20. Just a D20.
Yeah, just d20, no modifiers.
Oh.
Wow. So, as you're walking on the bottom of this area, you see what looks like a roasted, boiled alive fish of some sort. It has very sharp, rows and rows of sharp teeth. It's kind of wide looking. Its head has these glowing red eyes as it sort of swims towards you. And it's swimming towards you. Like, as you're walking, it's moving its trajectory to try to go towards you.
Oh, that's bad.
Well, I haven't eaten in a while, so come here, I think to myself without actually speaking, because I'm underwater.
Alright, fair enough. Let's look up something that would be appropriate. Because that was a random roll, and you got the worst result. So it has to be something that is going to be harmful. So should be in here.
How far am I from the beach as well?
You're about another 100 feet.
Oh, that much.
It's a water task, which we just encountered.
That means
No,
I have to kill it or die.
It's not quite that bad. It's not that bad.
But I mean, it's gonna take 4 turns, so like I can't run away. Is what I'm saying.
Well, you could take 4 turns to try to run away from it, but it seems
with
like it would move
attacks,
faster. It would move faster than you, so it would get a few attacks in before.
Yeah, like 4 turns of attacks and opportunity attacks. No big deal.
Yeah, pretty much.
You're just missing your shield, no problem.
Okay. This one seems nasty enough. I should put a marker just in case I want to use that creature again.
Turn the page. Ooh, this one seems nasty. Oh, turn another page. Ooh, this one seems nasty.
No, this one is sufficient.
Suddenly it's just a kraken.
Not quite. It's not going to be quite that bad. Alright, so...
Let's see what
up to you. 23 to hit.
Okay, to hit. Or is that initiative first?
I suppose we could roll initiative, but that's its first attack, I'm going to say.
Oh boy, you have disadvantage to hit as well, since you're underwater. You can't move as fast.
Yeah, he has half movement speed.
Yeah, not that alone. Also, his attacks are slowed down.
Yeah, well. That's disadvantage to his attacks, so...
Yeah.
Do I have disadvantage on all attacks?
Unless if you have something that works well underwater, which would have to be specified.
No.
So, like, if you had a weapon that, like, if you had a mermaid weapon that works well underwater, then you would be fine. But you don't have that. So, oh yeah, +1.
Okay, let me ask, how alive are you?
I'm already wounded.
What is your
Dex modifier.
Yeah. What is your Dex modifier?
+3.
3?
Yeah.
Okay. Well then, you get to go first, because
Rolling first, that's for the win.
you actually get to go first. So it's approaching you,
Okay,
and it
so
seems
if it...
intent on going towards you.
Okay, so it's very intent on going towards me, so I'm gonna... And I have disadvantage on attacking it, so I'm gonna run away.
Alright, it's not at you yet, I'll say. So, you move 25 feet,
Yes.
which is as far as you can move underwater. Alright, so it gets to move... it gets to move 40 feet. So it is next to you. Therefore,
Yeah.
23.
What's the damage?
Damage? Okay. I didn't roll damage yet. Wait. Okay. I just wanted to make sure I read that correctly. Plus... what was it? Okay. 10 damage.
10 damage.
As it just bites onto your arm. And then you sort of... you shake it off, and it sort of looks at you intently, its eyes burning with intense fury and probably flame underwater.
Okay.
And murderous thoughts.
Fair enough. What were you gonna do?
I'll do action surge to take the dodge action. And then I'll use my action to dash, so I'm 50 feet away. So he gets an attack, because I live.
Okay, yeah. Just trying to make sure I understood what you were doing.
I'm using dash and dodge at the same time.
Oh, okay.
My action surge.
Let's see.
Couldn't you use it to disengage?
Why? It's gonna attack me either way.
Yeah, so he's taking the chance on the dodge for 2 attacks, so it has disadvantage on both attacks, rather than
no roll
one no roll and then it gets full on the other one.
Yeah.
So it's a calculated risk, I suppose.
We suppose.
It was +6. So it's this one.
Yeah, with disadvantage.
Yep.
There we go.
So 12.
That doesn't it.
Alright, and it continues to swim to approach you. 1.
14 doesn't it?
Yes. Natural 20 wasted. So it attempts to bite you. Is unsuccessful.
I'll just bite down on my bite down and keep running, and by that I mean second winding.
Alright. Roll your second wind.
That's 5 there. 7.
Better than 0. So, what do you want to do?
Run. Full turn running. That's 25 feet away from the water.
Alright. It's going to try to bite you again.
That barely misses.
Okay. So this time as you're focusing on trying to get your hit points back with your second wind, it almost bites you in the back.
Yeah, that's my turn.
Alright, so it's going to approach you. And this time, actually, let's see. I'm gonna do something different here. Okay. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Dex save. Okay. 12.
Alright. Okay. So, as you are running away, it moves back up relatively closely to you, but then it sort of slows down at the end of that particular movement, and you hear, and you feel on your back flames underwater.
Good thing I drank that potion.
Yeah, so I don't know how much this is going to reduce. Based on your fire resistance potion, is it just half?
Basically half, yeah, resistance.
Okay. Okay.
So you can just roll normal and I'll do the halving.
Sure. Yeah, I was going to do that anyway.
So 10.
20 halved to 10. As you sort of turn around and you see what looks like you sort of glanced behind before it hit you. You saw what looked like a fireball in a bubble of water. And then it sort of crashes into you and the fire explodes. And it hurts you, but the fire quickly goes away, so you're not on fire. I guess that's a good thing. But you still got hit by the fireball.
Yeah.
So you can continue to run away.
Yeah, if he's not next to me, then I run.
He's not. He's definitely not next to you.
I'm up on the shore now.
Right, you're up on the shore. Yeah, and those weird slug things, they seem to be ignoring you. Though, as soon as you finally get out of waist-high water and you're finally able to run at full speed, it is going to try to hit you again. So another dex save.
Another dex save.
Yeah, it's just going to breathe another fireball. Right? Another 19 halved.
So 9.
Yeah. As another fireball, this time it comes out of the water and it's another bubble, like I described. And it just sort of flies up into the air and lands on you and blows up. And the water that was covering the fire extinguishes the fire after the explosion hits you. So it just does the damage and then dissipates.
Oh yeah, I've been taking damage a lot of times. Shouldn't I roll will saves for the amulet?
Will saves for what? Sorry?
For the amulet, because I've taken damage.
Oh yeah, you could do that if you want.
I don't know how many times. 1, 2,
3.
And I took 3 in the fight earlier, right?
Yeah.
Roll 6.
Yeah.
Roll 6.
I think that will do it with the 21 at least.
I'll tell you if it doesn't. You can roll the other
Last one
want,
wouldn't have
but...
made it.
Yeah. 21 is your highest still. Yeah, you saved. You would have saved in the fight with the rock monster. But I assume that wasn't in the forefront of your mind either way.
Yeah.
So you're on the shore. It seems like it can spike these fireballs at you, so you might want to keep moving.
Yeah, I'll just keep living. I'll say, I get it. You're not food.
And as you're looking out at the water, you see that it looks kind of like a shark, except its skin looks tough and boiled, and its skin doesn't look very appealing at all. It's like red in color.
It's a red heart tattooed with fireballs on it.
Pretty much. Pretty much. And it tries to spike another fireball at you, but you get too far away for it to actually be able to spike the fireball at you anymore. So it remains out in the water, in relatively shallow water at that.
After that event, I need another breather, so I'm gonna take a short rest next to one of the trees.
Alright, I don't think you have any hit dice left.
I do not, but I have second wind left and action surge missing.
So, sure, you could do that. And as long as you don't get too close to those slug things or bug them, they do their weird rituals, whatever it is that they're doing. You can make a nature check to determine the nature of them.
I do not attempt so.
Okay, if you don't attempt, then nothing happens. So I'll say that that is successful, but we will now switch back to your friend. You come up to the surface, Runk, and your lycanthropic friends come to the surface as well. And you are in an area you haven't been, but you're still on the island.
Yeah, as I would recognize, are we up high or close to the sea or anywhere?
Actually had to walk up quite far compared to, because of your ability, you recognize that you were a bit higher before you even got to the exit. Because you could recognize how high and low you were going, approximately at least. And you are partial ways up the mountain.
Any recognizable stuff I can see?
Perception check.
Perception, let me just grab the mouse. Perception, where did I leave you? There did you go?
Perception is really good while traveling, which
Yep.
is why a lot of people get really high in it. Because it's really good while traveling. So 19. You see where the mine is from you, and I'll bring up the map. Because you're still on the same side of the island. You're about up here. It seems like when you're traveling underground, you're getting places a lot faster than you would above ground. You're not sure.
Apparently.
Probably because there's hills above ground, and in caves you're just walking the paths that are dealt to you. Basically.
Oh, we did take 2 days about to get there. But
Yeah,
that was mostly because we didn't know the way and such.
So you're about up here, and the mine is over here, of course. Somewhere approximately.
Well, Runk will inform his friends about where they are on kind of the island.
The black dragonborn comes to the surface as soon as you do, and you say that, and he says, "We live here. We know where this is."
Other people that might be a bit disoriented.
Fair enough, but now that we're at the surface, we definitely recognize where we are.
Yeah, so now we need to find the others.
Well, probably not going to find them standing here. So what do you want to do? You want to camp here for a while, or just keep going.
Well, let's see. I can go, but anyone that needs to rest, well, you need to speak now, or we are going to walk.
He looks back at the group. Well, we haven't been damaged since we awoke, so...
So I guess we're going.
Alright. Let's move out. And everybody starts following. Which direction are you headed? Or do you have a direction in mind yet?
Oh, a bit towards mine, since I'm guessing that the where boars might be more towards that direction, since they could get out earlier.
That is a fair assumption. Though you could look around, see if there's any trace around this area, but...
Yeah, which Ruk will also do is just guessing they're like towards that direction, but also checks if there might be some part of their group maybe out here already. Who knows?
Alright. So you start heading in that direction. And since it's chronological order at this point, we're back to Goldrick. You finish your rest.
Okay. And then I'll start thinking to myself, did I ever mention some place we were supposed to go, or they were supposed to find others?
Not to you directly, no.
Okay, and if they did, I don't remember it. So I'm gonna head up towards the, like, moving along the shore, just heading north.
Alright. Make a nature check.
Nature.
See if you remember anything from that book you read on the way over.
History.
You're having a hard time figuring out where you are. But you notice that the beach is curved here.
Oh, the beach is curved. So that means I've gone too far, right?
You can make that guess based on your map. I'll say that you have a surface map of the area.
He's gonna make that guess, and he's gonna go the other way, going south, paying along. Like he just want to have the beach in eyesight in case he sees someone, but he's gonna look towards the other way too. So like he's not staring at the beach; he's mostly looking the other way to see if he spots anyone or anything.
All right, yeah, and just to describe it a little better, it is curved, and there's lots of curves on the shore. So it curves inward, like it's an inlet.
Well, the curvy beach is that.
Yeah. So it's not like it's curving outward; it's curving inward towards the shore.
Yeah. I'll just keep going south then, like keeping an eye on everything.
All right. Start heading south. It does begin to curve outward as you start heading south.
Yeah, I'll just keep following it.
You might have an idea of where you are at that point. After a couple of hours of walking on the beach, it does begin to curve back out towards the ocean. So make a perception check at that point.
Perception. 13.
All right, at that point, you don't really see any noticeable landmarks. But I'll say while you were walking here, make an investigation check to see if you can see anything that resembles... Okay. 17. You do see tracks heading in the direction that you're walking at this point.
I knew this was the way.
And it looks like animal tracks, which aren't native to this area. So
I will follow these tracks.
All right. So you start following the tracks, and since you're relatively probably aware of where you are at this point, I'm just going to flash it up on the screen. Share. You're approximately here at this point.
Yeah.
So you're starting to go inland because the footprints started going inland, and you start cresting a hill, and you see the mine, and we'll reveal what is there when we go back to Runk. You start heading towards the mine, I assume.
Yeah, because we kind of also want to know what happened there. Like, did the giant like kill a lot, or is there now a giant there?
All right, fair enough. That's a fair thing to want to find out. The only reason that you knew it was the mine is because there was a dip inward, and you couldn't see the mine itself, so there might be something in there. And then when you started going down the hill, then it started going flat, so you couldn't see it at all.
Okay.
So you
Just stop it.
are at this point. You're about 500 feet away. Make a perception check, both of you.
Both
At
of
that
us.
Well, that's the last thing I can do because I have to quit.
Okay.
Because I literally have to quit right now. So
Okay.
It's
No problem.
short. So
No problem.
bye.
See ya. Alright, I'll reveal to you then what is happening. So I'm trying to find the perceptions. Here we go. Both of you see each other across the way, and you can tell him or not whether or not. Maybe we'll just spring this on him as a surprise later. You see down into, so you sort of are on the little hill that starts before it starts going down, so we could hide behind it. You look down into the gully of this weird bowl type shape valley. You look down, and here's what you see. You see what looks like very large footprints, giant sized, headed towards the south, and you see what looks like a lot of footprints going south as well. You see.
How many corpses do I see laying around? Because there was a fight there, right?
You see blood, but no corpses.
No corpses. Huh.
You don't even see the giant corpse. You don't see the giant corpse. You don't see the other corpse of anything else. Yeah, no corpses.
Okay.
You see blood pools, like obvious, because there's no grass or anything here, so it's just dirt. So you see discolored dirt in the distance, which you assume is blood pools. So something happened here, but you're only seeing the remnants of something. And I'll allow you to go down into the thing to explore it if you wish before we
No,
end off.
not where there's lava. Or yeah, there was people on the other side. So yeah, I'll go down there then.
All right, you head down into the gully.
Yeah, because they said they had prisoners and stuff on the other side.
Yes, there were prisoners in the lava caves below. You head down there, make an investigation check.
Investigation.
Depending on the number, will determine how much information you get.
Low.
All right. You see a lot of footprints headed south. They mostly look like boot prints, which is what you saw before. You see giant footprints headed south. And you see the cave entrance. It looks relatively normal. The cave entrance.
I'll go in there. Because
Right,
the lava is further down, right?
You start going down that way. There's a bunch of rock blocking your path. That wasn't there before. It looks naturally formed rock, like lava rock.
Can I
So
make
it
it
seems like
smaller rock? A possible rock?
you can't go past it. It's completely solid.
Yeah, but
Seems as though they poured enough lava in there to block off the passage completely.
yeah, but I can hit it away.
You can hit some of it. After a couple of hours, you might be able to mine into somewhere that you recognize, but
I have a pickaxe.
you could try for a few hours to do that. And then, but if you do that, then that will be where we end off.
We end up with me chopping away at the cave entrance.
All right. Yeah, you get down a little ways, like about 40 or 50 feet into the cave before you realize that it's completely blocked off by lava. Or hardened rock. Because at that point, it's all hardened up. So
Can I get through the hardened rock?
it would take you a little bit of time, so we'll end it off there in order to give him a chance to do something. If he wanted to.
Caves are no problem for dwarves.
Well, it's molten rock, which is decently valuable in some places in the world. There are a lot of places that don't have much lava, so if you wanted to keep some of it, you could do that as well. But
Probably not right now, because I have my bags full, pretty
fair.
much.
So you start mining, and we'll say that that's where, because it could take your character a couple of hours to reach something that's softer than the rock in front of you.
Yeah, I'll rest before I get through, so we'll take our long rest because we have to do it at some point anyway.
Yeah, your investigation didn't pull up very much, so you're not entirely sure. You do see one more detail. You do see that the blood pools are definitely an amount that would be of dead human or other humanoid size.
Okay, if it's enough to kill a person, then I'll just assume they took their fallen with them.
That is a good assumption. But you don't see the corpse of the giant. So
No, that went south. If it died here, then it would have died further south, even if its corpse is gone.
perhaps it went berserk and did something that just tried to run away after it got too hurt, or perhaps it tried to kill them, or perhaps it got captured. You're not entirely sure. There's a bunch of possibilities.
Yeah.
So you're not sure. So we'll leave it there. Unfortunately.